Hey, good evening, guys. Ken at Tortoise Capital, nightly strategy podcast for Sunday night, August 20th, 2022. Saturday night, swing trade framing, courtesy of Ken H. And Chi Wing Chong starts us off with 30-period regression line slope Z-scores. We'll start with the business cycle, if you will. So the S&P and all the leaders, which is finance, the S&P and tech, are all rolling over at 2 sigma. What that means is this has been an extraordinary run up, and it really can't maintain that pace indefinitely because that's such a statistical anomaly. So this is a natural place for that market to start recovering and rolling over. The last time it was up there, it had a horrible sell-off. Even the sell-off when it was at zero the last time got some serious attention. That was the big sell-off in energy. But yeah, materials are starting to cool off. Energy is the only one that shows any kind of upward pressure at all. It has more room to gain, and energy prices have been on a rise after that cratering sell-off in July. So this is a time, really, we are right on the boundary between bearish quiet and sideways quiet. It would be unusual for it to stay in that kind of quiet condition. After a nice run up, it would be normal to start seeing some aggressive profit taking on the basis of the market weakening. There's some literature and articles out there about how that was the last 30 days has been really just a short squeeze, and that all of that buying energy is over, and that this is a natural limit to the gain. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that. I just know that since we're on the boundary between bear and sideways, I always have a heightened sense of danger there anyway. I don't need a reason other than the fact that it's just in a bear quiet. This thing can turn to bear normal and bear volatile in a couple days. But finance has made a nice little recovery here. Now we're looking at the conservative versus the aggressive, the defensive plays of consumer discretionary. That's XLY. You can see that that's had a really nice move that has paralleled that of SPY. That the staples have been lagging on this strong move up. Staples have been lagging, but now when the market and discretionary are starting to stall, the staples are starting to come back into favor. That's a passing of the baton to the defensive plays. That's money rotating over to things like McDonald's, Coke, Walmart, Home Depot, and away from some of the tech darlings. So let's continue to be mindful of that. All right, we're going to go through Ken H's series now, and here we go. So Devon Energy has been a really good trader the past 3 or 4 days, and you can see why. That move right there has really been exceptional. This looks like Ken H got a scratch and then an SSC off that support level. And I know he was considering a second position here, but he waited for the emerging dragon, I believe. And he's got that one locked in at no lose, and he's getting paid by this one. So that's in really good position. There's no, that is hardly resistance right there. This move from here to here was so fast that was a temporary way station on the way down. I don't really think that's going to be strong resistance, to be honest. I think the people that were buying it there were buying it because of the value that they saw on the sell-off, and then they got surprised by this. So I would be really surprised if the people who bought it here and held it through all of this now are going to bail just because they can get their money out. I think they're much more inclined to play it through 80 and beyond. So they're on a weekly basis, there's still a strong move, ready to go up to 80. It's at 68, so plus 12, and he's got about a $2 risk in there. So that's about a 6-to-1 move still in play. And he's got 2 positions in that are free and clear. So that's in great shape right there. Devon Energy is certainly showing the way. Occidental Petroleum, that's Buffett's favorite. That also has been on a tear. Has really cleared this resistance level, got through that in a hurry. And now it's poised for another breakout here above 72. And that's, all-time high kind of territory. Off it goes. This is one you just, you own it. If you don't already own it from down in here, either at the SSC or the COTA 2, then I think you can still buy that one just like Devon and participate. Here's some tactical trading he's got with natural gas. He buys this is like a COTA 2 resumption. That's a really nice shot. And the big gap up and sell off, he does a nice job of capturing 95% of the move. I mean, how efficient is that? And you noticed that over here, when that thing collapses, it collapses hard. This is kind of the trading range for natural gas as a commodity. And he does a great job in here on the COTA 2 getting paid. You can see both of those trades here. And he's playing a nice tight risk box. So it would not surprise us to see this fail down to the 5-day low and 10-day low. That's at 29 and 26. And that's a good 1 position, 2 position, and you want to have 3 on board if it crashes below 26. So, and then the upside is problematic to me. I think I would be less surprised by a big move to the downside. The upside move, it's just hard to see that stretching much higher. But, with the energy global supplies in such flux, maybe there's room to the upside again. I'd be careful and tactical on this one intraday. I wouldn't try to swing trade this one to the upside unless you're willing to commit some of the money that you won on these on the upside. But to me, the safer play is just playing the oscillation. You're timing those pretty well. So I'd be careful on that one. On the other hand, we're seeing clean energy getting absolutely murdered. So maybe natural gas as a real energy source is still in play. So here's Nucor Steel, NUE. Note the big, strong, 20-day move, I guess it is. And that's a 30-day move. And then here's the 10-day, and the 5-day is sort of consolidating in this nice tight box. So if this is able to break north of 145, I think it gets up to 160 and 170 pretty easily. This is a really nice job of cashing what was available. This is a natural place for that thing to have a limit. That's been a really nice move. I would be willing, I think, above 144. You might play this one as a tactical one. I think I'd rather be on like US Steel, to be honest, or Alcoa or Cliff. I think they've been better intraday traders than Nucor. But that's a possibility if you're ready to play a intraday, like on a 3-minute or even a 30-minute, that breakout. But I'd be watching it real strong at 144. So if you got that move and it started to stall, I'd cash that intraday. If you're able to get a position on in here and it breaks north of 144, I'd be willing to keep like 20% of the position as a swing trade, and only because I don't see much resistance in here at all, that I think it gets up to 160 in a hurry. So that's the swing that I see. Yeah. So like this is not real resistance. You might see resistance at 155, then 165, but that's the justification for playing the swing trade. But I'd start off in intraday and keep 20% overnight. Yeah, I saw that same Ken points out Buffett's going to buy more of Occidental Petroleum, and that's gonna trigger more buying, obviously. He dumped a lot of other long-term holdings, which is not a frequent event, like get rid of US Bank Corp and Verizon, so rolling it into fossil fuels. Yeah, so here's US Steel. That's basically, he got the same trade with two positions in US Steel. This one I think was a little late. I'd like to have seen you maybe get out in here, or even earlier there. I don't like to see that one go negative, but yeah, I think for this is the same argument as Nucor. Tactical trade in either direction is there, and I would keep 20% as the swing. This ran into a headwind right where you would expect it to. That's the least surprising resistance of all at 26. It really has to get above that to really have a chance to get up to 30. But I like that because that's a $4 move, and you could probably play that with $2 of risk. And if it gets through 30, then 33 is in play, and 35 en route to 38. So that's a pretty good leg one move. So let's see that. Let's see it get. We really want to see it do that, obviously, but that has to be proven. John Deere, great industrial company. The whole XLI sector has really been standing out, just been quietly getting it done. So I kind of like this one too. It's right at resistance, though. Boy, is that playable. XLI might be an easier way to play this. Take a comparison. Plus, you can play that with options and futures as well. I like this. That was a warning sign of profit taking from that nice move. But the fact that it recovered meant that there was some buy on dip strength. So I actually think if it can get above, say, 370, that's a $20 move. So if you could afford like about a $7 risk, you'd still get 3 to 1. Yeah. I think I'm looking at where would I be interested on the short side on this. I think there's better ways to play short than this one. To be honest. But if it cracks below 360 again, you might give that a try. Because then it gets to 345 and 335. That's the next two easy targets. I think there's other weaker things that I'd rather be trying to get short. Because if we see that market rolling over, there's going to be no shortage of weak companies getting crushed. All right, here's the Qs. They're showing signs of weakness in here too, as you can see. So they had 1, 2, 3, and now it's 1, 2 down. There's a real good chance this gets to 316 on Monday. That's a $6 move on about $1 of risk. That's an intraday trader, but boy, that's really good work right there. Yeah, so 322 breaks. Yeah, 315, 305. That's been just an extraordinary move. That's a 2 sigma move, obviously. And I guess this 315 used to be resistance, Now it should be support. So that 315, yeah, that's right there. That's your tactical trade space. If it breaks below here, then what, that whole market's going to be selling off hard. And a return of the bear. Coinbase, I think that run is done. This all the joy here has just all come back, and it's ready to get right back into this trading range between 75 and 60. So that to me looks like the natural normal move, because that was low volume and this was the previous peak and the previous belly. So I think this is where we're going to see Coinbase working. So I'd be wanting to get short from there, and if it gets down to here, looking to get long from in there. Still a great intraday trader, but man, I would not be swinging that thing. That is madness. Let me come back to just again. Yeah, so as I'm thinking about the swing trade, so it's had one nice little surge, but then it's fallen all the way back to the PSAR and the dragon, and below 60. I mean, look out below. Yeah, so that what was once resistance is now support, and now can it get back to 100, or does it go to 50? If you were a betting man, which one do you see first? Maybe 60. I think 60 before 100. That's the way I'd bet. Clean energy. As the rest of the conventional energy has been going up, PBW has just been smacked down from 65 to 57. You know, that's a 12% move. And sitting right at strong support. If that fails, 55, 51, and 48 are, it can get there in a hurry. Look how fast this thing drops when it decides to drop. I mean, it moves $10 at a time on those fails. So I like this one as a critical state, ready to rebound or ready to fail. I'm expecting to fail, and that would be a high priority to get on board. Walmart has held up pretty well. But you know, this is white knuckle time right here. You know, it won't take much failure to start making people bail out of all of that. You know, but if you see any kind of signs of recovery, then everybody who was buying in here may be buying on dip. So this has a chance to get some legs, because there's no resistance in here at all. So all this has to do is turn and run. You're not feeling relaxed though until it gets above 143. It has to clear. So this is all tactical trading space. I think it's a nice intraday trader as well. Verizon, this is I think this is going down. You know, the news is out that Buffett's dumping shares. That's, I think, a bunch of insider trading news. That could never happen. Yeah, I'm not surprised if this fails. And then if it breaks at 44, who's going to buy it? You have to go back a lot farther to find out what the low ball on this thing is. This is evidence of when there's net selling, and you know, liquidating Buffett's position happened all the way through here. That's what people just sense, that 55 to 44. Yeah, I think this one's on the downside. Maybe there's value players, but if you're buying this, you have to treat that as intraday tactical trade only. I mean, it's got to recover from the shock of Buffett bailing on them. Yeah. All those gains just erased. Let's see. Shockwave Medical. something. This is a healthcare tech. Amazing earnings. This is a breakout from probably great earnings. That's a nice shot right there. He gets the COTA 2 kind of locked in. Yeah, I think there's a chance for a momentum play to the upside for a second one on this one, but I would just make sure you don't lose money on it, and maybe that becomes a long-term benefit. Probably had a news item on that. Clearfield Tech. Boy, is this thing ready to continue. That could become your long-term friend. I mean, SSC, COTA 2, COTA 2, COTA 2, finally. And no resistance anywhere in sight. Just leave it alone. And I'd add more above here and get that and then leave it alone. Boy, does that look good. Hold your nose and trail your stops. Centene Corp Healthcare. Looks like you were doing some investigating in the healthcare sector. It's cleared the weekly resistance. So that's a new box, new leg up. That functions like a COTA 2. And this was on a day when the market was down big. So anything over 97, up it goes. Yeah, I like it above there. But I also like it short below 94.50, looking to get down to 90. You might see an intermediate move to 93. Last one up. Excuse me. CI Cigna. More healthcare. That feels toppy to me. Here was the nice move, and then for 5 days it's just been choppy. So unless you see something immediately working, expect it to come down and test 286. But you like the fact that it's at an all-time high, so there's no special selling pressure on it. But it's just a question: is there any buying pressure? I don't know. I think I'd rather see that money in that telecom company, that CLFT. Hey, just some update on the Fletcher creativity project. We got the first batch of student work in, and there was one full standard deviation improvement in their creativity. Not a single person got worse. All of them except one got better. One of them stayed even. Yeah, that's looking like a slam dunk. And we got so that was the first batch of 25, but we're going to have a large N, about 350. And this is going to be revolutionary for the Army. So that stuff that we're doing in the Creativity 202 course and the 101 course, cutting edge. All right, guys, that's everything I got for you today. Let's get this published and posted, and we shall see you tomorrow. Tomorrow morning is the Euros, doing the Creativity 202 at 10 o'clock, Chunlong, and Sunday night will be a late one. We got a soccer match tomorrow night, so I'm gonna try to record that early. And wife's coming back from California tonight, going to the airport in a couple hours to pick her up. So all is well and at home here. So take good care, fellas.